Can you actually retrain your brain out of chronic pain and illness? Is this possible? For most people, the answer is yes. Somatic tracking is an amazing brain retraining skill from pain reprocessing therapy. And at my clinic, I've seen clients get great reductions or elimination of their chronic symptoms by using somatic tracking consistently. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain what somatic tracking is, and we're going to go through a somatic tracking practice. Now, if you find my content helpful, please ensure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Most people respond to their chronic pain or illness with fear, frustration, despair, annoyance, or anger. And this makes sense. Many years ago, I had widespread debilitating chronic symptoms, and I recovered using a psychological approach. And I want everyone to know that responding with these unpleasant emotions to your symptoms, it's so normal. When we feel the unpleasant sensations inside of pain or physical symptoms, this unpleasant emotional response is just the result. The issue is there becomes a feedback loop. So if you have pain or symptoms and you respond with fear, frustration, despair, annoyance, anger, your brain's going to feel more in danger and produce more pain and symptoms. More pain and symptoms, more unpleasant emotions, more unpleasant emotions, more pain and symptoms. And to break this cycle, we don't need to change the pain or physical symptom. I know that sounds weird, but we don't need to change that. What we need to change is this dysregulated emotional response. And that is what somatic tracking does. Now, somatic tracking is meant for neuroplastic pain or symptoms, and your symptoms can be fully neuroplastic or partly neuroplastic. Neuroplastic pain and symptoms, what's occurring is there's no damage or disease in the body that is triggering the physical symptoms. It's this unpleasant emotional response and dysregulated response that's causing your brain to feel in danger and actually produce the sensations. Now, again, neuroplastic pain and symptoms, your symptoms could be fully neuroplastic or potentially partly neuroplastic. Now, somatic tracking is exposure. It's an exposure practice where we dive into approaching the sensations of pain or physical symptoms. Again, we're not doing it in the moment to try and force the pain or symptom to change. We're actually getting exposure to approaching it and being with it and creating safety with it. Most of us, when we feel these unpleasant sensations of pain or symptoms, we run away. We run away as fast as we can. And I get that. We just avoid focusing on it. We distract ourselves. But to change our emotional response to the pain and symptoms, which is vital for healing, we need to actually approach it and change our emotional relationship to it. Now, somatic tracking has three main components. First, mindfulness. This is the exposure piece. We are getting exposure to being mindful of the sensations. And we want to be curious, non-judgmental, and have no desired outcome. So we're not trying to force anything to happen during the practice. We're dropping in, we're exploring, we're getting to know them, we're tracking the sensations moment to moment, and just noticing what happens as we have this curious lightness kind of lens that we're focusing with. Now, the second piece of somatic tracking is cognitive safety messages. These are cognitive messages you're giving. So as you're doing the mindfulness of the sensations of pain or symptoms, you're giving these cognitive safety messages. My body's healthy. My body's capable. All that's occurring is my brain and nervous system has been stuck in this heightened state of danger, and as a result, it's producing these unpleasant sensations. But I'm safe to drop in and attend to it. Or you could tell yourself, I know my symptoms are inconsistent. I know they move and spread. I know they're triggered by emotions. So for this reason, I know my symptoms are neuroplastic and my body is healthy. Another example of a safety message is just reminding yourself that the sensations are temporary, and by using this approach, I can heal from them. So you get the idea of cognitive safety messages. You're reminding your brain that you're actually safe as you explore the sensations. Now, I have a whole video on safe self-talk and these safety messages and how you can start to utilize them. So I'll put that link down below. You can check that out afterwards. And finally, the third part of somatic tracking is positive affect induction. It's a really fancy term for it. I just call it positivity. Essentially, what you're doing here is you're trying to change the emotional response. So we might use breathing, humor, visualization, like visualizing a calming person, place, or animal. There's lots of other ways you could do this. You could do somatic tracking while walking in nature, exploring with your senses the sights or sounds around you that you like. You could even watch clips of short comedy or do somatic tracking while watching a funny TV show. When I was first healing and doing somatic work with my pain and symptoms, I loved the show Modern Family. It's just a light, funny show. And I would watch Modern Family and then do somatic tracking in the back of my mind and then lean into the show and watch it. So positivity, you can get really creative here. Even though I'm going to give you a standard somatic tracking at the end of this video, I want to be clear, make somatic tracking your own. I find that the people that have real great effect from somatic tracking are the people who explore it, experiment with it, and find what works for them. So really play around with somatic tracking, try it all sorts of different ways to see what fits best for you. So now we're going to go through a somatic tracking practice. Now, one thing I want to bear in mind is somatic tracking is best done when your symptoms are mild to moderate. So your pain or symptom sensations are mild to moderate. Don't do this practice when you're in the middle of a flare because it's just too overwhelming dropping into your body. It'd be the same as if you were having a panic attack. One of the cruelest things I could do to someone is tell them to drop into their body because it's just the sensations are too intense. So if you're in a flare right now, save this practice for later. Come back to it when it's more mild to moderate, because when they're at a mild to moderate level, it's a great level that we can start to create safety with the sensations. So to begin, you can close your eyes, lower your gaze. And at first, what I want you to do is just slow down your breathing. If you can, in and out through the nose, slowing down the breath, making the exhale nice and long and drawn out. And just focus on the sensations of your breath. Making the exhale longer with each breath. And focusing on what feels pleasant, what feels nice in your breathing pattern. Maybe when you inhale, you feel your lungs and belly fill with warm air. Or when you exhale, you can really just feel everything release and relax. So just savoring for a moment what feels nice with your breathing. And now we're going to drop in to notice your pain or physical symptoms. So, what I want you to do is scan your body from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet and just notice where in your body right now you're feeling pain or physical symptoms. Notice if the sensations are more in a small area, more localized, or if the sensations are more widespread. If we're going to focus in on the sensations and just start to describe them. Like, how would you describe the sensations of pain or symptoms? Are they burny, tingly, pressury, achy, stabby? Maybe they feel floaty or off balance, heavy. But just for a moment, like, really get to know it. Really explore what the sensations feel like in your body. We don't need to focus on them with a bunch of intensity or trying to control the sensations. It's almost like with each exhale, you're just letting go of control, you're letting go of the pressure, and you're just allowing yourself in this moment to drop into your body as long as it's not too intense. You're just dropping in. Maybe you move in a little bit closer to the sensations each time you exhale. Maybe notice the shape, size, color, and texture of the sensations. And just be aware of all the subtleties. We often just focus on the intense area, but notice all the subtleties taking place in your body and what occurs as you sit with the sensations, if they increase, decrease, move, or change. And again, we're not trying to control them or force anything to happen. You're just allowing the sensations to do their thing as you just sit with them and be curious about what happens moment to moment. And it's reminding yourself that these sensations are safe. There's nothing to change or fix in your body. Your body's healthy and capable. Your brain's just been wired in this state of danger for a long time. And as a result, it's producing these unpleasant sensations. And so right now, we're just teaching our brain, hey, we're okay. We're safe to be with this. We no longer need to be fearful about it, be in frustration or despair. We can just approach it, be within the body, and remind ourselves that we're physically safe. And by doing this work, by using somatic tracking and other mind body techniques, these sensations are temporary and we will heal from this. We'll move through it. I often explain to people that when we have pain and symptoms, we often have a lot of resistance to feeling it, like we don't want to drop in. I often use the example of salmon in the salmon run. I don't know if anyone's seen pictures of that, but essentially what's happening is the salmon are trying to jump upstream. They're just jumping up, they're going against the stream. It's like the ultimate resistance act. But right now, we no longer need to resist this or control this. What I want you to do is we want to be more like jellyfish. I love jellyfish, they're pretty majestic. But we want to be like jellyfish in the water. There's not much resistance, they're kind of just going with the flow. They're just allowing the current to move them. And they have this nice flowing movement to them. That's what we're doing. We're just allowing things to take place. It's just this short-term acceptance. This is how I feel. And I can be with this and create safety with it. So just practice really slowing down your breath and allowing yourself to be with the sensations, kind of like jellyfish in the water. And just notice what happens to your sensations. Do they increase, decrease, move, or change? Again, just staying curious. And I want you to notice in your body as we've gone through this practice, if there's any pleasant or neutral sensations taking place. So it's almost scanning your body, even if it's a small area, like the tip of your nose, or maybe your knee, or maybe you have a warm, fuzzy feeling in your belly, or your breathing feels a bit more full. I want you to all find a place that feels more pleasant or neutral inside and just move in towards it. Practice leaning into this pleasant sensation and really experience it fully. Just savoring it, noticing all the details. Once you feel like you've savored it long enough, shift back to your pain and just get to notice it, almost look back at it. Notice what's happening to your pain or symptom. Has it increased, decreased, moved, or changed? Again, reminding yourself the sensations are safe. We can just allow them to take place. And we can also notice what feels pleasant or neutral inside, because that helps to increase this sense of safety. So just take one last moment, noticing all the sensations within, just allowing them to occur. When you're ready, we'll bring this practice to an end. So I hope this video was helpful on somatic tracking and going through this practice. Again, this is just one element that I use in my approach, but it's a very key element. So if you can tolerate it, start to use this consistently. I always recommend once or twice a day at first when people are first healing. I also have other somatic trackings on my channel and other brain retraining exercises. So if you go to my main YouTube channel, you'll go down to the meditation section. There's a whole bunch of free resources there. I also have a digital course. It's a very comprehensive digital course. It has over 60 somatic practices, brain retraining practices within it. So I'll put that link in the description of this video. If you need that extra support, you can go there to sign up for my digital course. So thank you everyone for watching. Again, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.